So, how do you explain the hatred?
Well, I think in large part it's because the Democrats have been moved so far to the radical left, and they have somebody standing in the way of pushing that agenda down people's throats. But even more than that, President Trump has challenged every major institution in our country, whether it's the media, Hollywood, the university systems, all of these people who have collectively come together to try to shove that far left agenda down our throats. And the president stood and said, whoa, 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 that's not happening. And he does it with such a fervor and such a fight that he's actually winning. Nobody expected him from those groups to win in 2016. And when he did, they tried to take it away from him. But he did not cower. He kept fighting back and kept fighting back. And we haven't seen somebody like that who's so willing and able to challenge those institutions and fight back in a really long time. And I think that's one of the reasons they don't like him. He also proved he didn't need them. So often, people in politics need the press to get elected. They need the special interest. And Donald Trump said, you know what? I can do this without you. He's gone around them, and it infuriates them that he does it, and he fights back against them, and he does it without needing them at all.
That's a good answer. They charge him with constantly lying. What's your response to that?
Look, I think if anybody has lied and has a credibility issue, it's the people that peddled this fake Russia witch hunt for over 2 years, promising to produce evidence, promising that there was something there, promising that this president had done something he shouldn't have and that they were going to take him down. And they spent every single day perpetuating that fake story. And it turned out not only did it not happen, but how much corruption there was and how big and wide the problem is, we still don't know yet, but we're learning more every day that the corruption that existed was actually on the other side of people colluding to try to take the president down instead of the narrative that they were constantly pushing.
That's right. If people are even informed of it. But as you pointed out, if all they do is watch CNN, they don't have a clue.
Which is a dangerous thing, and I would thankfully their ratings aren't that high, so there are not that many people watching, but too many people I think are being fed bad information and just a negative approach to how to look at this country. And I think that that's a sad thing that they're so willing to push such a divisive message every day on their network.
How did Kim Jong-un strike you?
It was an interesting meeting, to say the least. Unlike any experience I've ever had, the tension walking in, the anticipation, all extremely high. I was one of 7 people to represent the United States delegation at the bilateral lunch, and I thought the president did a masterful job in that time frame of weaving in things that were of interest to Kim to talk about, while also staying ultimately focused on the key message and the key takeaway that he wanted from that meeting, and that was to let them know and remind them that we wanted them to denuclearize. Here's what your country can look like if you do, but if you don't, the sanctions and the pressure is staying on and will remain where we are. And I thought the president did a great job of weaving those things in, keeping the conversation going, developing a very difficult relationship, and making some progress. Certainly, no one is under the illusion that this is a done deal or an easy process. Getting somebody to give up nuclear weapons is almost always impossible, but the president got our hostages back, got our remains back, and has made some progress in that relationship. And I think it was a good thing for him to take that meeting and to try to push forward in the denuclearization process.
The book, and I remind you, has great pictures in it, including Kim Jong-un at that lunch where Sarah Huckabee Sanders participated. Speaking for myself, faith, freedom, and the fight of our lives inside the Trump White House. We got another segment together. Sarah Huckabee Sanders